A standing ovation for King Charles giving the speech from the throne in Canada's Parliament. Donald Trump's name was not mentioned once in this speech, but it was clearly a speech from the throne directed at Donald Trump and directed at demonstrating to the world that Canadian is free, Canadian is sovereign, Canadian is true, it stands on its values, and it is standing up to the bully to its south, Donald Trump in the United States of America. I want to show you some of the highlights of this speech from the throne. King Charles begins by saying, "It's good to be here in Parliament with Canadians all united in hope." Play this clip.
Honourable Senators, members of the House of Commons, it is with a deep sense of pride and pleasure that my wife and I join you here today as we witness Canadians coming together in a renewed sense of national pride, unity, and hope.
Next up, King Charles explains how there is uncertainty taking place, but Canada will confront the big hurdles that are confronting it. Here, play this clip.
Speak for your communities, representing an incredible richness of cultures, languages, and perspectives. We owe it to this generation and those who succeed us to think and act for the greater good of all. While the world faces unprecedented challenges, generating uncertainties across the continents with regards to peace and stability, economics and climate change, your communities have the skills and determination to bring a wealth of solutions.
And he's right. The communities in Canada always come up with the solutions, not just in Canada, but also a shining example for the rest of the world. King Charles then talks about Canada achieving its independence and how the crown symbolically stands behind it, but that the crown is here, and King Charles wanted to make this visit to let Canada know that it is a major, major player in the Commonwealth and that the crown is with it all the way. Again, the message here being sent to Donald Trump, obviously, as well. Here, play this clip.
It has been nearly 70 years since the sovereign first opened Parliament. In the time since, Canada has dramatically changed, repatriating its constitution, achieving full independence, and witnessing immense growth. Canada has embraced its British, French, and Indigenous roots and become a bold, ambitious, innovative country that is bilingual, truly multicultural, and committed to reconciliation. The Crown has for so long been a symbol of unity for Canada. It also represents stability and continuity from the past to the present. As it should, it stands proudly as a symbol of Canada today in all her richness and dynamism.
Next, King Charles talks about his mother, Queen Elizabeth, opening up Parliament, her speech from the throne, and then he explains how when she addressed Parliament, we were living in uncertain times, and he talks about the uncertain times now facing Canada and how Canada is rising to the challenge in this incredible moment. Play this clip.
When my dear late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, opened a new Canadian Parliament in 1957, the Second World War remained a fresh, painful memory. The Cold War was intensifying. Freedom and democracy were under threat. Canada was emerging as a growing economic power and a force for peace in the world. In the decades since, history has been punctuated by epoch-making events: the Vietnam War, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the start of the War on Terror. Today, Canada faces another critical moment. Democracy, pluralism, the rule of law, self-determination, and freedom are values which Canadians hold dear and ones which the government is determined to protect. The system of open global trade that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for Canadians for decades, is changing. Canada's relationships with partners are also changing.
King Charles acknowledges that people in Canada are feeling uneasy, but that this is actually a great opportunity for Canada to lead. Play this clip.
Many Canadians are feeling anxious and worried about the drastically changing world around them. Fundamental change is always unsettling. Yet this moment is also an incredible opportunity for renewal, an opportunity to think big and to act bigger, an opportunity for Canada to embark on the largest transformation of its economy since the Second World War. A confident Canada, which has welcomed new Canadians, including from some of the most tragic global conflict zones, can seize this opportunity by recognizing that all Canadians can give themselves far more than any foreign power on any continent can ever take away. And that by staying true to Canadian values, Canada can build new alliances and a new economy that serves all Canadians.
And King Charles then talks about Canada having the opportunity now to become the best and strongest economy in all of the G7. Again, the message being that ain't going to be the United States anymore. Take a listen to King Charles. Let's play this clip.
The government's overarching goal, its core mission, is to build the strongest economy in the G7. That starts with creating one Canadian economy out of 13. Internal barriers to trade and labor mobility cost Canada as much as $200 billion each year. The government will introduce legislation to remove all remaining federal barriers to internal trade and labor mobility by Canada Day. Les premiers ministres de plusieurs provinces et territoires ont déjà pris des mesures pour éliminer les obstacles.
King Charles talks about ways that Parliament, the ways the government can make the economy more efficient, streamlining processes. Play this clip.
To build Canada strong, the government is working closely with provinces, territories, and Indigenous peoples to identify and catalyze projects of national significance. Projects that will connect Canada, that will deepen Canada's ties with the world, and that will create high-paying jobs for generations. Given the pace of change and the scale of opportunities, speed is of the essence. Through the creation of a new major federal project office, the time needed to approve a project will be reduced from 5 years to 2, all while upholding Canada's world-leading environmental standards and its constitutional obligations to Indigenous peoples. The government will also strike cooperation agreements with every interested province and territory within 6 months to realize its goal of one project, one review. When Canadians come together, Canada builds things that last.
King Charles does not hesitate to talk about the environment, climate change, respecting the rights of Indigenous people in Canada. Play this clip.
Is core to Canada's identity. In 2022, Canada convened COP15 in Montreal, which concluded with 196 countries striking a historic agreement to protect 30% of their lands and 30% of waters by 2030. To this end, the government will protect more of Canada's nature than ever before through the creation of new national parks, national urban parks, marine protected areas, and other conservation initiatives. The government will always protect the rights and freedoms that the Charter guarantees for every Canadian. The government will be a reliable partner to Indigenous peoples, upholding its fundamental commitment to advancing reconciliation. Central to this commitment is the creation of long-term wealth and prosperity with Indigenous peoples. For that reason, the government will double the Indigenous Loan Guarantee Program from $5 billion to $10 billion, enabling more Indigenous communities to become owners of major projects. As Canada moves forward with nation-building projects, the government will always be firmly guided by the principle of free, prior, and informed consent.
King Charles then reflects again on his mother, Queen Elizabeth, and her speech from the throne, where she said that no nation can exist unto itself. Again, a clear message being directed there to the United States. And then King Charles talks about how Canada is a shining example for the world. Let's play this clip.
Honourable Senators, members of the House of Commons, when my dear late mother addressed your predecessors 7 decades ago, she said that in that age and against the backdrop of international affairs, no nation could live unto itself. It is a source of great pride that in the following decades, Canada has continued to set an example to the world in her conduct and values as a force for good.
I thought one of the most powerful lines from King Charles right here, where he talks about how the anthem reminds us all that in the North we are true, we are strong, and we are free. Here, play this clip.
As the anthem reminds us, the true North is indeed strong and free.
And finally, King Charles looks at the members who were sitting there in Parliament, the members of the House of Commons, and he says, it's your duty now to lead. You have this solemn obligation. God bless you. And here's what he says. Play this clip.
Members of the House of Commons, you will be asked to appropriate the funds to carry out the services and expenditures authorized by Parliament. May you honor the profound trust bestowed upon you by Canadians. And may God bless and guide you in all your duties.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. I thought that was a powerful, powerful speech by King Charles. And you can obviously pick up the messages there that was directed at Donald Trump without King Charles even having to say it. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MidasPlus.com.